How you doing, guys? A bit late than my usual time. I was meant to go live at 11 this morning. As soon as I clicked go live, my system just crashed. I have no idea why. It's just one of them things, really. But at least I finally found some time to come live today. At some point, wow, I had to do the school run. I relaxed for a bit because I was a bit ticked off that my system didn't work. Man, these issues. I don't know what it is, man. I think it's the Mac. I've had a PC. I've got like PCs lying around. I've had them for years, and I don't really get hardly any of them crashing. The Mac crashes quite often, so I might need to switch that off. Might need to get rid of it. Just get like a desktop or something. But anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you have tuned in on today's show, I'm gonna run through the Champions League results. I'm gonna run through today's games. I think Arsenal kick off in an hour and 15 minutes. I'm also going to discuss Unai Emery and the Zerbi. But first, I'm going to talk about Paul Scholes, because I think I mentioned this last week where he made that comment about Michael Carrick after we lost. And he put something like, what was it in that? Something like the last 4 games, Michael Carrick's done well in the last 4 games. To get the results from these players. And I said I agreed with it. There was a lot of hoo-ha online about, yes, we don't agree with it, this, that, and the other. But I actually did agree with what he said, because if you saw the games, like I explained, we were gonna end up losing them anyway. And that's the reason I pretty much agree with it. Cause yeah, and then he did say on the good, the bad, and the football that he didn't mean it as offensively. He just meant that Michael Carrick's done well to get the results out of the last 4 games, which is what I took it as. I didn't really find it offensive, but there was a lot of hoo-ha online about, oh, we shouldn't have said that. Oh, we shouldn't have done this. Oh, we shouldn't have done that. And I knew that, like the Martinez one, I was against him on the Martinez one, because against Martinez, it was a bit out of the blue. I didn't expect Carrick to just come out with that, and I didn't agree with him. I did not agree with him. I think it was a bit disgruntled at the time. He was complaining and moaning. He hadn't moaned. I think it's because we've been winning. I guess if we're winning, you're not really going to moan. But I think it was because we lost that he started up again. And but I don't know. I think I agreed with him for it. There's a lot of people that didn't agree, and there's a lot of people now saying, oh, he's only saying that, he's only saying this, he's only saying the other because, he got called out for it. No, I think people did misjudge him on this one, because I took it as what he explained it to be. And I actually did agree with him. But I'm going to move on to some managerial stuff now, because we've been linked with that many managers at the moment. I'm not sure where Michael Carrick stands with all this, because God knows. But we have been linked with a lot of managers at the moment. And I don't know. I don't really like this guy. Roberto Zerbi is understood to be keen on the permanent head coach position for Man United. And no thank you is my response. Okay, look, let me explain a bit about this. All right, Brighton, he had teams before Brighton. He's only spent like a year here, a year there, 2 years here, 1 year there. He's had that many teams. It's unreal. But Brighton, he was at Marseille. He didn't do too bad at Marseille, although I can't remember if he got sacked or he left. One or the other. But I don't really think he's Man United material, and I've said that for a long time. I don't think he's suitable. He's more of a attacking-minded, possession-based style of coach. He focuses heavily on short build-up, starting from the goalkeeper, rather than quick counter-attacks. And United are known to be a counter-attacking team. We always have been. And I don't think he's the right person to move us forward. He hasn't got that United DNA in him like Michael Carrick has, but I'm not even sure whether I want Carrick to have the job either. So, I think it's pretty much a bad choice if you do go for him. Personally, I don't think we will. He has been linked quite several times, and I really don't think he is definitely suitable for the position. He didn't do really too bad at Bayern, didn't do too bad at Marseille, but I think United's just a different ball game. It's going to be above what he already knows. I don't think he's off. I feel like if Carrick's doing so well, I'm going to give him till April, middle of April to decide. At the moment, my favorite would probably have to be Nagelsmann because he is an amazing coach. I ran through this on Friday, so if you want, go check out the Friday video. I'm going to see if I can drop a link in the description for it, if I can, but check out the Friday video. And I spoke about this pretty briefly back then, about the three of them. But the link with Roberto De Zerbi is getting a bit crazy now because it's everywhere. And out of all the names that I've seen linked, I think I've seen him linked more than anybody else. So for me, it's a no. I'm not sure how you feel. However you feel, please leave a comment if you want to leave a comment. But he's just not my kind of coach. I don't want him anywhere near United. However, there is this other coach that is meant to be leaving in the summer, and it's Unai Emery. David Ornstein did put a tweet out a couple of days ago. I'm a bit late. I couldn't really do a show yesterday. Couldn't really do a show today. Yesterday, day before, because Monday I was at the hospital with my partner dealing with all this cancer stuff. She got the all clear, but we still have to attend appointments. Tuesday had a bit of work on. From there, I went straight to the hospital again because she had another appointment. But anyway, this is the reason I'm bringing it to you Wednesday. Now, Unai Emery looks increasingly likely to leave Villa this summer, with a Spanish head coach said to be growing frustrated by the club's lack of financial restrictions. The limitations around spending and squad building are understood to be a key source of tension, raising uncertainty over Emery's long-term future at Villa Park. Now, I think that he will end up copping it in the summer because of the PSR stuff. Villa can't really buy many players in. If at all, they have to get rid of some, and they're going to get rid of a lot of good players to bring in players from somewhere. And try and stay under that PSR. And I think with Unai Emery, he's an amazing coach. I really like him. And with Unai Emery, I think they've struck gold because I think when he took over, the team were based around relegation. They were fighting for relegation, and he's taken them up the table for the last 3 seasons. He's got them into Europe for 1 season. Last season, they just about missed out because we beat them on the last day, and then it's looking likely that he's probably going to get him into Europe again this season. And then he's probably going to walk away because they can't buy players that they need to buy. And I know Watkins is probably going to be one that's probably going to go in the summer. There's going to be quite a few more. I know people are interested in Rodgers, so they're going to lose quite a lot of money. Well, get a lot of money, but how much of that are they going to spend is the question. And I think with Unai Emery walking away, that potentially leaves the door open for him to come to us in a summer, potentially. Now, potentially, when I say potentially, I mean potentially, because it might not even happen. He might end up sticking with Carrick. But there's a reason why I wanted him, and I did a bit of research on him a few days ago. And the reason why I want him is because he's an amazing coach. I mean, look at his record. Sevilla, 2013 to 2016, he won 3 consecutive Europa League titles, 2014, 2015, and 2016. With PSG, he was there from 2016 to 2018, and he won the Ligue 1 in 17-18, 2 Coupe de France, and 2 Trophée des Champions. And then he moved on to Arsenal. He was there for, a year? And he led them to a 22-game unbeaten run and the 2019 Europa League final, which Arsenal missed out. Well, Arsenal lost. And then he moved on to Villarreal, won the 2020-2021 UEFA Europa League. And now he's at Villa and transformed the club from near relegation, like I've said, to 7th place in his first season and 4th in the 23-24 season, securing UCL football. And he's fastest manager in the history of Villa to get 50 wins. And he holds the record for the most titles of 4 and most wins of 56 in UEFA Europa League history. That's not a bad CV to have. I mean, I want him really transform us, because I think he will come in and transform the team like he did with Arsenal, like he did with Sevilla, like he did with PSG. Well, PSG was good anyway. Like he did with Villarreal, and not like he's done with Aston Villa now. So I think if he does go, there is try. If you don't want Carrick, he's probably going to be him and Nagelsmann are going to be my choices for somebody to take over. I don't really want Gareth Southgate. I don't really want Zerbi. I don't want Roberto Martinez and whoever else we've been linked with. So he seems like a good choice for me. But speaking of Villa, there was a story that I saw. I got my notes right here, in case I forget. But there was a story that I saw, and when I read it in front of my mate Simon, who's a Villa fan. And I think I spoke to him. I can't remember if I spoke to Martin about it, but I spoke to Simon about it. I'm not sure if I spoke to Steve about it, because I got a lot of friends who are Villa fans, obviously. So the game on Sunday is going to be a big one for all of us. But Emi Martinez has breached gambling rules, or at least he's under investigation for it. Okay, so Emi. And so what happened was reports emerged that Villa goalkeeper Emi Martinez under FA investigation of alleged breach of betting advertising rules for his role as brand ambassador for Argentine betting company BPay since June 2014. Now, there's a gambling thing within the Premier League. It's a no, really. And the fact that he's done this breaches FA rules. So I don't know what the punishment is going to be. I don't think he'll be at Villa at the end of the season. I think Villa will move on from him. So they'll bring some money in by just getting rid of him in general. But what kind of idiot knows the rules and then still does that? We need to figure out how much BPay are paying him, to be fair. But yeah, who does that? Like literally, who does it? Jesus Christ. But you think a player like Emi would know a lot better? You think he'd know what the rules are? And I don't know what they're going to find during this investigation or what the punishment's going to be. But it's going to be severe because he's basically breached the FA rules. Hence why he's under investigation. But another one that's been banned, he's received a 2-game ban, was Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola will be banned for 2 games after 6th yellow card. Pep will not be on the touchline against Chelsea or West Ham, but he's back for the Carabao Cup final versus Arsenal. For some reason, I just started stuttering there when I started reading. I have no idea why. But yeah, he's been banned for 2 games due to receiving a yellow card. I think it was, I can't remember, was it against Newcastle, the last game they played? But anyway, yeah, he received a yellow card, and that's a 2-game ban. So he won't be on the sidelines for Chelsea and West Ham. Chelsea is going to be a big game considering they're playing for the title. It's not a good look. Then you got West Ham, who are trying to stay up, so they're going to be going for it. So it's still not a good look. So, Pep, what are you doing, man? I want you to win the Premier League. I don't want Arsenal to do it, but if you're not going to be on the touchline, that leaves the team, in not so good position, because they're going to need you tactically and you can't get involved. Who's going to take over? But I'm sure you're probably going to get a good result, or you're going to be favourites to win against West Ham. It's just Chelsea game is going to be a bit tough to win. Liam fucking hell. Yeah, so the Chelsea coach is going to, for me, he's been up and down. You don't know what you're going to get. Sometimes they come out swinging. Other times they're piss poor. Personally, I don't think he's the right guy for the job, but he's been doing well. So I can't knock him at the moment. I can't knock him. I personally think he's doing well. I just don't want him to do better than us. But yeah, man, Pep's got a 2-game ban. Arsenal look like they're just gonna win the title, and they're I think the favourites for the quadruple as well, and I hope not, because there was a thing the other day that I seen online, and it was something regarding fans and who are the most hated fans in the Premier League, and I think Arsenal won that. Arsenal definitely came out on top. So yeah, and I actually agree with that poll because oh man, I should agree with that poll because I absolutely, other than my cousins and my friends that I know because they're not so heavy with it, I absolutely hate Arsenal fans, especially the ones you see on them fan channels. And there's some like Ty who throws dummies at the pram. Is that his name, Ty? I ain't got a clue. So who keeps throwing dummies at the pram, and you know, I've seen some that I've bumped into who are just, oh yeah, we're the greatest team in the world, isn't it? Yes, blood. You know, all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, if you insist, but I just can't stand the fans, man. They think they're better than they actually are, and it bothers me. It bothers me quite a bit. But I'm gonna discuss now Tottenham and yesterday's results, because Tottenham now have lost 4 under Igor Tudor, 4 in a bloody row. That is absolute madness. And there was a rumor that came out about 3-4 days ago about him being replaced by Thiago Motta, because he's now lost 4 games in a row. He's lost against Arsenal. He lost 4-1 against Arsenal. He's lost 2-1 against Fulham. He lost 3-1 against Palace. He's lost 5-2 against Atletico Madrid. So that's what? 5, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14 goals conceded in 4 games, and they've scored 5. Scored 5, conceded 14, and that's... And Kingsley last night was just absolutely embarrassing. He got subbed off, in the 17th minute? It was 3-0 at that point. But I feel like it's not even Kingsley's fault. All right, he's a bit to blame, but Igor Tudor doesn't seem to be the right one for Spurs, and if they keep going in that direction, they're going to be gone. And I thought after yesterday's game, he probably received news this morning to say, yeah, he's been sacked, but he hasn't been sacked yet, which is shocking me because, I mean, the run of games are not the easiest run of games. And I'm sure I went through them. They got Chelsea, then they got, is it Chelsea? Then they got Forest. No, sorry, they got Liverpool, then Forest. And Forest are trying to stay up, so they're going to fight to the death. So they haven't really got an easy run of games. And I said this last week. There's a lot of people saying it online. There's TalkSport saying it, Sky Sports, everywhere. Everyone just feels like Tottenham have just given up trying. They've given up playing. And by last night's result, it seems like they have, like tools down. And everywhere that Igor Tudor's been, the relationship has broken down everywhere. So if I get this onto your screen now, that's basically what I read out. Thiago Motta as a replacement for Igor Tudor. Obviously now it's 4 games with last night's loss. And it's going to be a big battle to come back now from, 5-2 down. They're 3 points ahead. So you got to score 4 to win. And your home results have not really been the best. I think you've won 2 games there all season. So, yeah, man, Tottenham are just going to go down. And that's my opinion. I think it's going to be Burnley, Wolves, and Tottenham. I think West Ham and Forest will just about stay up, but only just. But let's go over. Oh, man. Yeah, so just about stay up, but I'm just going to go over some of yesterday's results and discuss them a bit further. I didn't watch all the games. I seen highlights of the Liverpool game. I was flicking between the Barca and the Tottenham and the Bayern game while chatting to my cousins in our group chat that we have, because my cousin's an Arsenal fan, and he hates Tottenham. So the result worked well for him. But I'm going to go over that now. So give me a sec. Let me get it up. So there we go. Yesterday results. Liverpool. It's not big. It's not such a big mountain to climb. It's 1-0. I think Liverpool had a goal disallowed. Galatasaray had a goal disallowed. It could have been 2-1. Or it could have ended at least 2-1. But that's not a really big climb because you're going back to Anfield. Liverpool are gonna do well at home. Now, FC Bayern Munich and Atlanta. Now, that result shocked me because I didn't expect Atlanta to get hammered 6-1. It was an annihilation, pretty much. And for me, I think Barca... No, so for me, Bayern's going to be the favourites for me. I think Bayern are really going to be the favourites to win this again. They're doing really well. All over the place. Already been over the Tottenham, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Newcastle. That game, I was watching that and that was like back and forth. Literally back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I did feel like Newcastle did deserve to win. It was a bit of a bad luck that they give the penalty away in injury time for Yamal to score. But I did think Newcastle were the better team and it was just tough because when Newcastle got the goal, I thought, yeah, that was it. But yeah, it's done. It's done. Even Alan Shearer, when he was commentating, said, that's it. He's going to go get a pint. He's happy. It's done. And then that happened. And it just goes to show that anything can happen at any time, in any place. So, yeah, that's that done. And now, in a little while, you're literally looking at what? Just over 50 minutes. By Leverkusen versus Arsenal. I don't even know if the teams have come out yet. I'm going to try and click on it and just find out. See if I can actually see the team lineup. Oh, yes, we have. So, Arsenal are starting with Ray and goal. You got Timber, Saliba, Magalhaes, and I can never say his name. Yeah, him. Then you got Rice and Zubimendi in midfield. You got Saka, Eze, Martinelli as a 10s. And you got Gyökeres up front. And you're going to play against Bayern's Blaswich in goal. Tapsoba, Andrik, Kwanzaa in defense. They're doing a 3-4-3. You got Poku. Palak. Oh, how do you say that name as well? I can't say half these names half the time. Garcia, Grimaldo. And then you got Mazas and Terry as the number 10s and Cafane as the striker. So that's going to be a 5:45 quick-off. That's the early game. And then you got the 8 p.m. games. And the game I really want... I'm not really bothered about watching Arsenal. The game I want to see are these two. So I might have it on a split screen. I'll watch both at the same time. That'll be quite good and see what happens. Bodo Glimt versus Sporting. Bodo Glint's been doing really well. I'll be surprised if they don't continue to do very well against Sporting. But I'm going to predict my predictions. Yesterday's predictions, me and Matt were talking about it, and I had Galatasaray to win, Bayern Munich to win, I had Atletico Madrid to win, and I had Barcelona to win. Barcelona, obviously, I even put a fiver on it for a £50 back, but Barcelona let me down. But today's games, I'm going Arsenal to win. Going draw between Bodo Glimt and Sporting CP. The way Bodo Glimt's been playing, I ain't going to rule them out. PSG versus Chelsea. Ooh. Because it brings me back to the Club World Cup, but that was under different circumstances. And PSG have been I might swing it to PSG to win 2-1. And the Real Madrid and Man City. I'm leaning towards Real Madrid. I'm just gonna follow my gut and say Real Madrid's gonna win that. So those are my predictions for the game. Let me know yours in the comments if you want to leave a comment. And we're nearly towards the end of the show. I've got just a couple of things just run over quickly. Probably nothing much to do with football, but on tomorrow's show, because I'm not going to be doing a live on Friday. I am going to do a live tomorrow, hopefully for 11 o'clock, unless I get a hiccup. But yeah, I'm going to do a live tomorrow at 11, go over some stuff. There's some stuff that I said about Man United's finance, so I'm going to try and break that down this evening if I can, and then try and go live with that and try and discuss it a bit more, because it looks like the debt's just going to pile up, and it's not really looking in a good place, because we have to start paying it off, and it's getting worse. I think it's gone 1.3 billion or something like that now. And it's annoying, but I sent a post about it earlier. I'm going to try and delve into that a bit more to understand it a bit better. So I'm going to try and bring that in. I'm not going to promise that I am going to, because I've promised stuff before and it's never really panned out. So I'm not going to say I'm going to talk about it, but that's something I want to look into and see if it's worth talking about, and then try and understand it and then mention it. I don't know when that will be. I'm going to go over today's games and talk about them results. I'm going to probably go over the weekend's results and predict them. So you're probably going to see me talk about that as well, because I think the Premier League's on the weekend, and if I'm not doing a video on Friday, I'm better off doing it tomorrow. So I'm going to go over that as well. I'm not sure what my schedule's like for next week. I know there's a appointment on a Tuesday at the hospital, so I'm going to probably end up in the hospital on a Tuesday with her while she does this appointment. I think there was one for Monday, but that's now been given as a phone consultation. She doesn't need to attend, especially when we're going to oncology tomorrow. Yeah, but that's what I've got for you, basically. It's a show tomorrow, nothing for Friday. Then I'm going to come back on Monday and do another one. I'm also thinking about dropping 2 videos a day. So I'm thinking about doing a live stream like I am now, as in like a daily Monday to Friday live stream. And I'm thinking about dropping a production kind of video on the evening about 6 p.m. Don't hold me to that, because I'm still thinking about time, because I get fairly busy even now, but I think I might see if I can maybe do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to begin with, or Monday and Friday to begin with, and then try and do this a bit more permanently, and then, you know, drop a bit more videos. But I want to do videos about looking into basically players that might go in the summer, players that might come in the summer, explain more about them, their background, why, the reason why, how much we can save, all that stuff, the managers that we're interested in. I want to try and do videos on that and just break it down one person at a time. Because when I do these, I always tell myself for 30 minutes or between 25 and 30 minutes. So I can only talk about certain things. But if you want to like a real in-depth 8 to 10-minute video, that's something that I'm thinking about bringing in. I'm thinking about doing videos sometimes about how the under 18s, the under 21s, and even the women's team are getting on. So I might do like some production videos about that. Not so much me talking, but actual production videos. That's what is in my head. There's a lot of plans I've got in place for this channel. Now that things are slowly picking back up after them 5 weeks I had off due to my partner and her appointments and her cancer treatment and operation. But that is basically what I have time for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so whenever I go live, you'll be notified. Whenever I drop a video, you'll be notified. And I'm trying to get up to at least 500 subscribers by the end of this year. And hopefully these production videos will boost that up for me and get me there. But thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 11. See you later.